Welcome, one and all. Today is March 24th, 2016, and this is Mastermind call number 67. Boy, the attendance keeps growing every week. We got a tremendous turnout today. Again, hit *6 and then hit 1 if you would like to participate in the call. On these calls, we usually have time for 5, 6, 7 people to participate, ask questions, and we've only got one in the queue right now. So please hit *6, hit 1, and you will get unmuted. Just a quick roundtable from the partners. Oh, and Tom, are you on board? I guess Tom is not here yet.
Actually, he is, I believe.
Is he? All right, let me look for the other area code 321. There he is. Welcome, Tom. Can you hear me now? Tom? Oh, no, that must be, that's our other friends in the area, 321 area code. I'm not seeing him.
Well, he was on.
I got him. There you are, Tom. I misidentified you. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Thanks.
All right. Boy, all four partners are here. This is awesome. I guess we'll go round the horn. Tom, Tim, anything you want to share with the group?
Nope, nothing in particular. Just rocking on, busy, and we continue to grow, and we're continuing to do the things we need to be doing. That's it. Keep on rocking. Let's get to people.
All right, awesome. Tom, anything from you, sir?
No, I'm good. Just want to reinforce anything that our customers need or any questions they have, just please send it to support@alltheleads.com.
Excellent.
Yeah, your support system has been awesome.
Oh, thank you, Lou.
That one young lady, I can't think of her name right now, just terrific.
Cindy
and Tom, I think. I've spoken to you several times, Lou.
Yeah, Tom's been pretty good too.
It was a young lady named Tom.
He does look really cute in a dress. He's a handsome man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Chad, anything from our trader? Anything you want to share with the group this week?
I'm good. Let's hear what Lou has.
All right. Well, we got Lou Levine. Lou, just if you can keep it to about 3 minutes, that would be great. Lou's only been with us a couple months, and I think you're up to 3 counties right now, and he is just killing it. So, and honestly, Lou was a little reluctant to come on the call because he thinks he might be a little old-fashioned in his marketing methods. I mean, he's not automated or anything. He just gets on the phone and calls people. And Lou, what part of the country are you in?
I'm in the New York area.
Okay, not New York itself, upstate New York, right?
Right.
Okay. And you've been with
I actually taught this years ago to the people. I've been doing this for 41 years, real estate, but I got away from it. In other words, I used to teach the different people in different offices that I had how to do it, but now I'm actually back to doing it myself. And so I'm kind of really old at doing it with a tremendous amount of experience. I have a tremendous experience on the telephone. So anybody who's good on the phone, this is right in my in my windmill. This is right where my sweet spot here. You could make a lot of contacts with a phone. A phone is a powerful tool.
And Lou, you started with 1 county, and I think you just added 2 more. And I think you shared with me that you've done about 7 deals in 2 months. Is that correct? Right,
with a whole lot of potential. There's different kind of leads. Some you'll get right away. Some we missed. Like we could have had a lot more. Just the market's very hot right here. We came very close to even 3 or 4 more that they just sold it to somebody else, which is nobody's fault. The big, I'm kind of experimenting with this. As I said, I'm really brand new at it and very old at it. So, I'm trying to experiment different methods. I haven't read a lot about the other methods that what I tend to do, and I'd like maybe to listen on a couple of other meetings to see if you could teach an old dog some new tricks. But the whole thing here is what I see. The information is good. Okay, so you can have the greatest idea. It's like a computer, and I'm not computer literate, but if you have junk in a computer, you can't get good stuff out of a computer. So obviously, you guys have good sources of the information is good, and if you have good information, whoever has the good information wins the game. It's no matter what business you're in, and this is good information compared to some. I used to pay people to do this same thing you're doing it too. So not only is this cost effective, it's better. It's like obviously have higher quality people doing doing a good job, especially where I'm. The experience I've had so far, it's working pretty darn good.
And Lou, you have been. We always tell people to email support@alltheleads.com, and you have definitely taken advantage of that. I know you and Cindy spent a lot of time the first week or so, and Tom too. You guys all. It took you a while to get going, I know, but.
Yeah, but my partner's a little bit difficult, so I just sometimes I just let him do whatever he wants, and then all I'm interested in doing is collecting the checks at the end of the day, right?
There you go. Hey, well, I appreciate your contribution. I really, really do, and thank you for. I always feel like it's important that would we have success stories like this, please come back on the call and share with everybody. There's a lot of people who are just getting started, and maybe their first few calls didn't go the way they wanted them to, and I think it's encouraging to have.
I want to say one thing. I just like to say one thing. It's not, in my opinion, okay. It's not so much important as what you say. It's how you say it. And you got it. Some days if you don't have it, it's good to put the phone down and do something else. You got to be kind of upbeat, even if you feel like shit. You got the other person on the other phone. If they pick up on it, it's not going to work. You got to kind of sound upbeat and positive and kind of on your game, and it definitely works. It definitely works.
Thank you so much. And maybe
one other quick question: if I want to hone up on my skills on other ways of doing it, how other people do it, what's the best way for me to do that?
Probably come on our role play call, which is coming up in just a couple weeks. Shad, wouldn't you think that'd be a great way for him to come on and interact with other people doing it differently?
Yeah, and Lou, are you on Facebook?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
I'll email you some of our past role play calls and give you some stuff that you can listen to.
I appreciate that.
When you said you're not on Facebook, do you have a Facebook account, or you just aren't on it right now?
No, I'm.
Okay. I didn't know you.
No, I'm not the most computer literate guy.
Hey, all you're about is making some dough and going after it and doing it the way that you know that works, and obviously.
I'm a Googler. I'm the number one Googler, and I think Google is the greatest. It can make anybody smart. I think Google's incredible, but I'm not one to spend a lot of time on. But listen, thanks very much for the opportunity. It was great. So far, so good.
Thank you so much, Lou. In the first Wednesday of every month, we have a role play call. It's at 2:00 Eastern. Same phone number, same code, and that would be a good thing for you to attend. And we get agents come on and different approaches, different ways of doing things.
If you could do the biggest favor, I'll be glad to help you out if you ever need it. If you could just email me that and the next one, and I'd really appreciate it because I know myself well.
You got it, sir. Thank you for your contribution.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Knock 'em dead, everybody.
Stay on the call, please. Maybe somebody will.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, Lou.
All right, we are going to open it up. Great, guys. We got 3 people in the queue for questions. That's great. And again, *6 and 1 if you have a question or you want to contribute. And we'll go to the first person in area code 310. You are up. Go ahead, 310-935.
Jim, I was just testing the system. I'm new.
Okay.
I just, I hit a bunch of numbers and I got put in the queue. But I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen.
You're in the hot seat now. You got to come up with something.
Wait a minute.
Okay. We got 4 more in the queue. If you anything at all we can help you with, or should we move on?
I'm just listening. We can move on.
All right. Thank you. Area code 760. You're up next. You there? 760-80.
Oh.
Yeah, go
yes,
ahead.
I'm
you're
new
on.
to the system, and I just wanted to know, do you have any kind of a script that, that would be effective to make the phone call? And I'm not really sure which phone call should I call first, the attorney or the sibling?
2 great questions. Chad?
So you're going to have the best results calling the personal representative first, because you're way more likely to reach that person than you are a very busy attorney. As far as a script, we don't really have scripts because I don't personally believe in them. What we have is more of a conversation framework that will help you develop your own language. So if you look under step 5 and subscriber resources, you'll see a document called the Probate Seller Interview Sheet. And I've left that in Microsoft Excel format so you can customize it, change it. You know, if you don't like it, make it yours. That's what we encourage you to do. If you look right below that document, there are 2 role plays, one with me as a real estate agent, one with me as an executor. That was live training that I did with my first listing agent. You can kind of follow that progression of that conversation through that probate seller interview sheet. Another really good resource, if you go to the Facebook group, we had a great kind of impromptu role play on the last role play call with Jeff Moneybreak was a guy that put himself in the hot seat. And he did a really good job leading me through the conversation, even though he was fairly new at it. He said exactly what executors say. So I think that was role play call number 6, and those are all archived in the All the Leads Mastermind group on Facebook. So those are all good resources.
I was on the Facebook and I didn't know where to go.
Yeah, so if you scroll down the wall, you'll see I put a big picture with either the word mastermind or a group of people with the word role play. So you can pretty easily see those in a quick scroll. The other shortcut in the top right of the Facebook group, you'll see a bar for search this group. And if you put the words role play in there, it will bring up only the role play calls. It'll kind of sort it out to just posts that have had the words role play.
Okay, because when I did a search, it's got 3 of them: role play group, role playing game, role play. So is it the group?
It's not that search bar. So if you're inside of the All the Leads Mastermind group.
Oh, okay. All right.
So when you go into the group, you're going to look in the top, not the very top, but at the top of the group where there's a menu, you'll see a bar for search this group. So listen to those role play calls, look at that probate seller interview sheet. It's really what I find most important in this is the progression of the conversation. So what questions, what are good questions and in what order to learn about the situation. And then like the reason they're asking that specific order is because we want to teach you guys to provide multiple options. And in order to know which of those options you need to provide, you need to understand, mainly who are the decision makers, what's the relationship dynamic, is there real estate for sale, what condition is it in, what are the goals, price expectations, and so on and so forth. Once you know those things, then you can prepare for the appointment and you can offer options to them. So we go a little deeper with a probate seller than we would with a FSBO or an expired, where we know most of the information. And that's what that's for. It will really help you walk through, what questions to ask and in what order. As far as the attorneys, that is a great way to really double your surface area. And if you listen to also on that Facebook group, I think it was Mastermind call number 65, we had 3 relatively new agents and brokers who showed up, and that was attorney day apparently. They shared a lot of great ideas on how they have cracked into the attorney market, or the attorneys in their market, simply by being assertive. And one gentleman was sending emails. He was using Spokio to get email addresses and emailing the attorneys. The others are calling or dropping by the office. You can mail to the attorneys. We give you their address, so you can make that a formal business letter. You can merge in the docket number of the probate filing and the deceased name to make it a little more official and get past the gatekeeper. When you mail attorneys or when you talk to attorneys, what you want to do, you want to highlight that you're not the average realtor, that you can provide options that will help clear his or her desk faster, meaning that the files will close, and you can get you'll put the seller's interest first and get the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time, because that's really what matters to an attorney. What can you do that any other agent can't? Well, I can get this file off your desk and I can get more money for your clients, and here's how we do that. So think about that when you're reaching out to the attorneys. Those are the things, those are the problems that they have. And a lot of them, probably all of them, will have a real estate agent but's been taking the listings. And you just have to go in with confidence and a real clear why and convince them that you're a better solution to make their life easier.
And I was going to add our mailbox motivator program. If you want us to do the letters for you, it also has an attorney program. So if you want to mail to the attorneys, we have different letters and a different program, pretty much pre-designed, where you can just kind of pull the button and let us do it for you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
I was just going to add, I was a coach, and I was coached for years, and it was really drilled into me that by my original mentor that a good salesperson spends less time talking and more time asking questions. So, and one of the values of sending off a letter first is the first question is, hey, this is, I'm sorry, I forgot your first name. What is it?
Kim.
Kim. Hey, hi, this is Kim. I just wanted to make sure you got my letter. Did you get my letter? Great. Did you want to make sure you understood my services? Do you have any questions? Great. So you do have property you want to sell. Great. And there's a series of questions like that Chad just alluded to. It's a lot easier than just kind of calling up and verbally vomiting on someone. It really shows that you have an interest in helping them rather than just kind of pitching yourself. And it's a more it's better than a script, in my opinion, having a set series of questions that you can add. They're going to get them to the conclusion that you're the only logical choice. So, any other follow-up questions? We have 3 more people in the queue. Are you good? All right, I guess she's good. Next up is area code 917. You're up.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you're up.
Yes, hi, this is Mohammed. I hope you guys are fine and doing good.
Hey, Mohammed, doing great. How's things in New York City?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. The thing is, I just received my first set of leads last month, and I just started working on probate. The problem which I'm facing is when I sent out the first bunch of letters, I got some phone calls from the personal representatives, and they were stating that don't give us a call or don't send us a letter. They were one guy was saying that he would be filing a harassment case against my firm, and I just wanted to know, when we call the personal representative, what should we exactly say? Because I was giving a call to, I gave 10 personal representatives a call, and then I just stopped calling them because the 10 guys which I gave call to, I didn't got any positive response. I just they were all.
Mohammed, you and I talked about this briefly the other day, and they're gonna seek the mail police after you, which I don't think you have to really worry about getting sued for sending someone a letter, and I know you realize that. And I'm going to let Chad answer this, and as our trainer, but what you're experiencing, Mohammed, is pretty much unique to multi-mega markets like New York. You have a lot of, most of our agents probably are the only person contacting these people. You have a lot of competition there, so I can understand where you're going to reach more frustrated people than our average agent would. So, Chad, any advice on how to handle that when he gets a irritated person?
Yep. I'll say first, just for your own mindset, remember, this person's job is to be a public figure for a set period of time until an estate is settled. So if they want to get smart and they want to make threats, you can remind them that you provide a community service and you reached out to someone who's in a public position to settle an estate. And that should shut them up. You're going to uncover people like that, and I think it was last week I talked about this at the very beginning of the call. If you're killing it, you're gonna get like a 6 to 8% response rate. If you're in a high-priced, very competitive market, 2% will still make you 6 digits, a quarter. So you've got to focus on the 6%, not the 94%. And just like anything with FSBOs or expired, you're going to disappoint people. You're going to upset people. You're going to get cussed. And you just got to let that roll off your back and know that you're doing the right things for the right reason, and nothing about anything you're doing is unethical or illegal. And you're going to find those people that want your help, need your help, and it'll be some of the best business you've ever had. I love when people start out like this, and then a month later they call me back and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best client I've ever had," and it happens every day. So that's kind of my spiel and mindset. Like just get confident that you're doing the right things, and you've designed a service that really helps people, and don't worry about the people you can't help.
Dad, let me ask you to do us all a favor. You know, this comes up probably every third or fourth call we get to answer this question, and you always very quickly play the reversal game where, you know, you've got an irate customer on the other end, and you end up talking with them as a, you know, person who's provided service. And I think kind of the point is that there are a number of questions that you can ask that person that can quickly disarm them. And, you know, you're talking about a very, you know, where do you stand legally? But I mean, the other side of this is it's not necessary to start off by, you know, trying to be aggressive and beating them up. And say, look, you know, I'm not calling to beat you up, and you may in fact be in a position where you've just lost a friend or a loved one. And if that's the case, and, you know, you're upset about that, I'm really sorry. And, you know, I know how it feels to do that. And I'm not out here trying to, you know, hustle and chase ambulances, but you have a nice way of discussing that and talking about the value that you provide and moving towards the problems that they're having, particularly potentially disposing of the assets of the loved one or all of that. Those are the kinds of things that are in their head. Can you go over that a little bit?
Yeah. So I always try to gauge their energy level and their abrasiveness, and I meet them about a notch above where they are. And I imagine in your market that's probably pretty abrasive just based on the culture. So if someone calls and they're talking fast and they're and they, you know, with a loud voice, I'm going to hit them fast with a loud voice. And what I open with is is a more aggressive version of what I call the Probate USP, or your unique selling proposition. And what that is a fluid statement that explains how you got their information, why you reached out, what unique value you can provide that no one else can, and that at the end of the day, they're going to have a choice. And do not let them speak. Roll through it, push through it, just do not let them speak. If they listen to that, and then just end on the question. By the way, you didn't even say, you just called to blast me. Is there a house that you even want to sell or need to you know, learn about your options? And then end on a question. And by ending on that question, they're going to be, when somebody called you to blast you like that, they're expecting a little bit of banter. So if you end on a question, you're going to disrupt his state. And he's gonna say, well, and I don't care if it takes 30 seconds. Do not talk, and just wait through that awkward silence. Typically, what happens, that will change their state and completely disarm them. And if they don't hang up on you, what that tells me is they're crying out for help. And in every instance, if they haven't hung up, I've been able to turn that into a civil conversation and a listing. So ego oftentimes gets in the way of a lot of things, but usually when someone calls up to blast you like that, it's because, you know, they could have easily thrown the letter away or just forgotten about it and not called. But there's probably an underlying motivation there that says, I want to learn more about this guy and what he's saying because I really need help, but I'm too proud to say that to him. I don't even know this person. So just keep that in mind as you're going through this and he's going through it. And when you end on that question and say, well, by the way, is there even a home that I can help with? Or however you want to phrase that question, let him process that and then start asking questions, engage in the conversation. And you can use that same framework that I mentioned earlier. Once you get the Probate USP out and find out, you know, who are the decision makers and what's the dynamic? Like, are you fighting? And you don't ask these questions directly. You want to extract it from the conversation using good questions. And they're not all going to be that aggressive. You might, just like Tim said, you might have someone that's like, you know, man, I'm totally crushed. I just lost my brother, and you're mailing me letters to buy his house. What's wrong with you? And that's more of an empathetic approach. And I don't agree with saying, you know, I'm really sorry for your loss. I didn't know that person, so I'm never going to say that. But you can, I like feel, felt, found is something that I've found to be very useful in business. So, listen, Mr. Executor, I understand how you feel. A lot of our clients that have worked with us actually felt that way when we first talked. What they found is what we do is actually more of a community service than anything, and we're a lot different than what their initial perceptions were. By the way, you didn't even say, is there real estate in the estate that I could help with, or did you just want to vent? So I'll bring it down to a different level if they start out on a different level. And so you've got to really pay attention to who's on the other end of the line before you decide how you're going to come back at that.
Hey, Tariq,
but,
I was going to suggest, we have a couple more people in the queue, and I wanted to get to everybody, but Tariq, if you can come on our role play call, I think it's a week from Wednesday. It's the first Wednesday of every month at 2 o'clock Eastern. Let's really focus on that. Let's start the next role play call with that. And anybody else that either has that trepidation, or more often than not, the agents are afraid that's going to happen, and it usually doesn't. But I think that'd be a great thing to focus on the next role play call. Did that help at all for now, Tariq?
Yes, that really helped it. But the next role play call, when would it be?
It's the first Wednesday of every month at 2 o'clock Eastern. So I believe that'll be, is that next Wednesday or a week from Wednesday? I'm not sure. But we'll send out a notice to everybody and give you a heads up. I believe
it's on April 6th.
April 6th at 2 o'clock Eastern. And you're going to call into the same number and the same code.
Hey,
Okay.
Jim, I know we want to get to the other questions that we need to do. I just want to add one other thing. If you find that someone is really appearing to be offended on the call and all of that, you as a human being need to put yourself in the position of the person on the other end of the phone and just try to think what their motivation might be to do that. I mean, if they're just calling you as a matter of principle that says, you shouldn't call somebody about probate, well, that's a whole different story, and everything Chad said, walk through that. But if you hear somebody on the other end of the line, and they're obviously, sounding like they're tortured, and you're just adding to their misery, like Chad said, you got to be empathetic, and you got to do all that, and just approach it professionally, and understand that if, you just lost a family member, and some bozo that you don't know is calling you to, ask about buying your mother's house, it isn't going to feel too good. But if you can turn that around in that one call, that's the best call you could ever possibly make, because you got a winner, and that's what you have to keep in mind there, and that's really the key to this. And with that, Jim, I'd say let's move on unless there's another question.
Okay, thank you.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I got disconnected. I had to call back in. Sorry about that. All right, we have two more people in the queue. Let's go area code 818. Area code 818.
This is Dave Friedman out of L.A. suburb. How you doing?
Hey, great, Dave. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm fairly new at this aspect of it, and I see different tools that obviously go hand in hand with the phone calls.
Hey, Dave, are you on a speakerphone?
I'm on a headset. I'll disconnect.
Oh, we're getting an echo, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me see here.
You still there, Dave?
Yeah, I tried to switch. It didn't work.
No, that's better. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a trifold pamphlet, client-focused, about full service and listing the full service services such as property storage, vendors, plumbers. But it's in a very thoughtful but clear, customer-focused way, not how great I am. When would I want to consider putting that in with a letter? The first letter and the second?
Chad, did you get that? We're getting an echo, but I think we understood what you said.
Yeah, so you basically have a menu of services brochure, is kind of what you're saying?
Correct.
Depending on what your print cost is, I would probably put it in every letter. Marketing is really about repetition. So someone that receives letter 1 might not be ready to do business with you, and they can receive the exact same letter 2 months later, and you'll get a come list me call. So what I've found, and I've split tested this, sending a sequence of letters versus the same letter 3 times, I get the exact same result. So it's not so much a matter of the revolving content. It's more of a matter of repetition and just being there when it is time for them to, make a decision to move forward. So if it's not cost prohibitive, I would put it in every touch.
Got it. Thanks.
All right, one more question, and we got rid of the echo there. That's a good thing. Sorry about that, guys. All right, the next one is area code 402. You are up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Can hear you great.
Okay, this is Bud in Omaha.
Hey, Bud.
And while at the very beginning you were talking to Lou Levine, and I must have been daydreaming. I caught the part where he said he did 7 deals in 2 months, but I didn't hear what procedure he used to do that. Was he just using phone calls or letters and slide blast or what?
No, he actually gets on the phone and manually dials people. Can you imagine how archaic is that?
Yeah, well. Okay.
That's what he's doing. He's dialing for dollars, and he's gotten all of his results that way. Now he's like me. When I was an active agent, I used to make 100 contacts a day. So Lou's been in the business 40 years, and he doesn't mind calling people. He doesn't mind prospecting, and obviously he's good at it. But that's really why I wanted to bring him on the call. I think sometimes we get so caught up in all the technology, which is great. It still goes back to one-on-one conversations with people, and I think he's doing phenomenally well with it. And obviously he's coming from a good place because people are perceiving that he's there to help them, and he's doing great for a relatively short period of time. 7 listings is phenomenal.
So no letters at all, just making the phone calls.
Hang on, let me unmute Lou. Lou, have you sent out letters yet, or is it just phone calls? Lou, can you hear me? Oh, he's got us on hold. He's probably on the phone with it.
He's on the other line dialing out.
Probably so. Tim, do you know? I believe that he has sent out letters, but the listings are coming from the outgoing phone calls. I don't believe it's from a lot of people calling saying, "Hey, I got your letter. I want a list." So,
okay.
Lou is following the program, so I'm assuming that he is that he is sending letters. Hang on a second, Tim. I am going to unmute one of our partners was the one accidentally causing the echo, and he wanted to make a comment. Let me see if I can find him and unmute him. If I can't, I guess we'll talk about that next week. Chad, has Lou been through your training?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
I think I should go through his.
Exactly. All right.
Okay. Maybe he and Roger can put a class together to teach me what I'm doing.
All right, Tim, you're unmuted. Tim, did you want to make a closing comment?
Oh, no, no, I'm good. I was just
okay.
Sitting and listening and moving on.
I was wondering, have you sent letters out for Lou or not?
I don't have any idea, bud. I haven't looked.
All right, not a problem. All right, so I guess the lesson there is follow the program. Send out the letters and follow up with phone calls, and you'll do well.
Okay, great.
All right, Bud, thank you. Hey, guys, we ran long on this call. I really appreciate it. Couple little technology issues, but it was a great call, great participation. Lou, thank you so much for inspiring about 100 people on this call today. And I always close these calls, first of all, to remind you, we're available pretty much any business hours, Monday through Friday, even on the weekends. Send an email to support@alltheleads if you need help with anything. And I always close these calls by challenging you. Take one idea, one thought, one thing that someone said that inspired you. Go out and put it into action next week and come back next Thursday and share it with the group. Thank you so much for your time today, guys. Make it a great week. Talk to you next Thursday.